Hello team and welcome to the next glorious episode of surviving Red Dead Online with a bounty of $50. On our last journey, Aussie Boy and me traveled around the state to complete all daily challenges. At one point, we tried to cross the map with a donkey, and another time, Tristano and I were bounty hunters ourselves. Well, while being hunted everywhere we went, obviously. But so far, we've always been the people that were trying to escape from the chaos. And now, as the community requested, you are some nasty people. I'm just kidding. We are the ones who will cause the chaos by assassinating a total of 5 players in close range. Yes, it sounds hard, and honestly, it is. We cannot use firearms on our victims and will have to earn their trust to get close to them. In case we get captured or die, in any way, the challenge fails. If you, dear viewer, do not want this to happen, please make sure to subscribe and like the video to fill Dan and me with all the confidence we need. Let's just hope we won't make ourselves too many enemies. Let the Grieferous hunt begin! And of course, the inevitable happened. It was a little sooner than we expected, but then again, we are always ready for a fight. Especially if our opponents are a bunch of annoying NPC bounty hunters. We got overwhelmed by the crowd of hunters closing in on the bridge, and therefore our only option was to go down, finding ourselves trapped underneath the bridge. Or were we? After a tedious and epic fight, Dan and I managed to escape from the hunters. They put up a good fight, but it was nothing that could intervene our mission. Oh, yeah, and we found a camp of some rival moonshiners, which of course we had to raid. Even though it didn't turn out that well. The next stop is the livestock town, Valentine, in which we might be able to find our first target. If you're looking for a victim that nobody will search for, this is the place. Just as we set foot in this town, a quick glimpse onto the map was enough to locate our first target, Beast Slayer 668. Of course, we can't use our gun, we have to make use of some, well, more inhumane methods. As Dan and I approached him, we quickly noticed that he must be AFK. He just sat on his horse, not moving a muscle. We checked his rank because killing him would fall into the griefing category. We might not want him to go after us. I equipped my lasso, only to hit him like a cobra strikes his prey. He fell off his horse and desperately tried to breathe, but he could not resist the power with which the lasso drained the life out of his body. The first target has been eliminated. Do I feel good about it? No, of course not! To honor her sacrifice, I put him on the back of my horse. But our actions brought consequences. Somebody must have witnessed our murder attempt, and now the person is going after us. Unless we want to, well, get murdered as well. Our only option is to flee. Even when I tried to use Deadeye, I was not able to get a clear shot on him. We had to move before he approaches even further, and that's when we heard the train in the distance. Our best opportunity to get the advantage. Once I boarded the train, I finally spotted him. He was far away and I didn't manage to shoot him, but the train was moving at quite a rate, and there's no way he would catch up to us now. Once we passed the tunnel, we were long gone, and right next to us there was another player. But this time he was moving, and honestly, killing another AFK player would be boring as hell. I had to come up with a plan because I knew that we had to somehow get his attention to get close to him, while also catching him off guard. And what is better to get one's attention than a friendly, innocent gift? We had to come along as trustworthy and equally innocent, so it's better we leave our other victim's body here. Okay. It took a while to get his attention, but then, finally, he responded with a friendly wave. In all our modesty, we gave him the pronghorn, put our heart out, and just as we planned, he did not suspect anything. Which is just what we needed. I do not know what hurts more. The knife I plunged into his neck, or the knife through my heart, for killing this kind and lovely player character. At least for my own conscience, I left him the pronghorn as a gift. And this is the exact moment things turn to the worse. Stop number 1. Emerald Ranch. We still had 3 targets to go and decided to ride out to the good old ranch, because usually there are players. But besides a Tennessee whiskey in an old abandoned saloon and an AFK defensive mode player, there was not much to find. Stop number 2. Rhodes. Before we entered Rhodes, I killed and skinned a cow to bait a potential victim with another gift, because there will sure be a lot of players in town. But to my surprise, I was wrong. Not a single soul wandered the dirty streets of this shithole town, and instead, stop number 3, we had to go all the way to Saint-Denis. We went on this long and painful journey, only to find us getting ambushed by the Grey's private bounty hunters. To be honest, they were not too much of a threat. They got sniped, burned, shot, burned, outrun, and sniped until none of them were left, finally allowing us to enter the city. And then it happened. We found nothing. Absolutely nothing. The whole South was extinct and we wasted all our precious lifetime to get there. But I have a plan. This plan is called Operation Kill Harriet Davenport's Customers, because one of her stores is nearby and it gravitates nearly every player who is secretly abusing her servers for precious skins for Crips Trading Company. Anyway, there were no players either. Yeah. And I got a whole new idea. Instead of searching the players, we can let them come to us. I have to apologize. What I'm about to do is very, very evil. If we open our posse and invite every random player, chances are we can trick them into entering our camp and pretend we would start a delivery. And then we lower the white flag, plant dynamite underneath the table, and once they take a seat, I will close the posse and boom! 3 out of 5. That's how it works in theory. And indeed, one player who goes by the name Zigwap joined our posse. I marked the location on the map, but it seems as he've aced K as well. Damn, that sucks. So then plan B. Again, we have to embark on a long journey to get close to the player. Just as we came near him though, he started to move away from us. And so I gave up on that idea and closed the posse. Only to be greeted by another player who just stood there in the grass. Shalashaska seemed to be a friendly fellow and I suggested him to follow me. But obviously, he did not know where he was following me to. And neither did I. But then I remembered. Earlier this day, I came here to pick up the Tennessee whiskey, and if we get him to pick it up, he will be vulnerable to, well, and luckily, it all worked out. Yes! 3 out of 5. And now we should disappear. And by disappearing, I mean, well, going far, far away. The only towns that are somewhat close are Blackwater and Strawberry, and where we would find some more players. But it can't be that easy. The hunters followed us all the way from the south back to the Heartlands, and are here to claim their blood money. But not today. Dan, managed to shake off the bounty hunters, and we ended up in the proximity of Bart's Crossing. The bridge should lead us right to Blackwater and Strawberry, which are notorious hotspot for lots of players. We had 2 targets left to go, but Strawberry didn't even accommodate a single shell of a human. Anyway, we still had Blackwater as a second option. What awaited us in Blackwater was nothing more than sheer disappointment. We didn't even find a single player. Instead, we found a few annoying NPCs. And yes, I lost my temper there. We kept heading west, which is the exact opposite of what we were trying to do. We rode through the Great Plains and crossed the woods of tall trees. It was like Rockstar Games tried to punish us for all the crimes we committed on our fellow players. Just as we decided to head into New Austin, we got a notification. Vijnenko fake invited us to his posse. This is our opportunity to rise from the ashes to continue our murderous spree. Mr. Vijnenko started a bounty hunt as soon as I joined his gang, so meanwhile, I hunted the legendary Midnight Coyote to make him believe that I am the most trustworthy player to ever set foot into West Elizabeth. I waited for him by the bounty wagon until he finally delivered the target. One would think that I could leave the posse now to kill our friend, but some bounty hunters had other plans.
Somebody shoot that prick! You know we gonna kill you, right, boy? You ready to
Side by side, Vijnenko and I fought off the bounty hunters, unaware that they were actually trying to protect him. Surprisingly enough, another posse member appeared in the heat of battle, which led me thinking, could we kill both of them at once? I thought, let gravity do the job, and I asked them to follow me up the cliff. which they did. They were a little suspicious about my intentions, but due to my coyote, I think, they thought nothing of it. Just when I intended to leave the posse on the edge on the cliff, a rival moonshiner camp appeared in our area. And so, well, we had to dispose of them first before I can stab my new companions in the back. Now, nothing stood between us and our fourth kill. All we had to do is to get him as close to the edge as possible. I thought that the best way to do that was to pretend that I took pictures of him. If I signal him to get closer to the edge, he will think that I want to get a few shots of him, and just when he poses, this is where we push him over the edge. We have to be quick though. He's got 2 more members in his posse, who might seek revenge. Slowly, we are turning into a cold-blooded killer. It is what it is, I guess. 4 out of 5. Now, we are trapped down here, and we will have to find a way off this cliff. Preferably without dying. Alright, there we go. Dan has to stay here for a while. We'll catch up to him later. Once we got some distance between us and the posse, we returned to the Heartlands, as this is the place where we had the most player encounters. And then, we spotted something weird. There was a treasure hunter analyzing the landscape and studying a map. After I calmly misappropriated the map, which will lead us to Brandywine Drop, I interpreted it as the final destination. The spirits of the West sent us this map down from heaven only to show us the way to the last person we have to assassinate. It all makes sense now. This is the final chapter of our mission. And indeed, the map led us to the last victim, Tiger Lily. We got closer to her and noticed that she was treasure hunting. As we observed her, we noticed that she stood inside a wagon, and she must have found a tarot card. Tarot cards. I hate tarot cards. I took the lesser to prepare for the decisive strike, and I missed. It took me a moment to realize that it may take hours to find the next victim. She left me with no other choice but to go after her. She may be innocent, but we cannot let her go. I beg you, community, forgive me, but I'm about to sin. Doing this, using explosive ammo, is the only way we could ever catch up to her. I can shoot her, but I can't shoot her mount. Now we got her, out in the open.
I travel alone. Beat it.
The challenge is over. We're done here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Did I lose a part of my soul during this challenge? Yes. Did I break every rule I followed to be part of the light side of the player base? Totally. Do I regret doing this challenge? No, absolutely not. Even though I'm a very social player, I had my fun doing a little bit of soft griefing, and of course I apologized to my victims individually after I completed the challenge. Anyway, cowpokes, I hope you had a lot of fun watching this video, and please make sure to comment, like and subscribe if you haven't already. That being said, I wish all of you a great day and see you in the next one.